Man, there are not many things that get me more excited than spring bear hunting in Canada. And I've got two of them this year, and the first one's about to start. I get to combine it with fishing, which is really exciting also. We're going to be bear hunting starting on the opening weekend of fishing season in Ontario, and this is a do-it-yourself hunt. But I'm also getting my little puddle jumper boat ready. This is a boat that I use for taking into some remote lakes in Canada. So I'm going to take that up on my second trip. I'm going to actually have to take two trips up to this Ontario bear hunt. And the first trip is just going to be 3 days of baiting. I'm going up Saturday. We're going to bait Saturday afternoon, Sunday, and then I'm going to come back Monday. And then I got work to do at home and lots to do. And then I'm going back up that Friday and going to go ahead and bear hunt. There's 3 of us that have tags, and I think there's 8 guys altogether, or 7 guys and 1 woman. Brian's bringing his wife Doris. This should be pretty exciting because this hunt has an objective that's even more than just the bear hunt and shooting a bear and the fishing. We are actually going to take these bears apart. 3 people have tags, and we are going to take them apart and show you the wound channel of the arrows and show you exactly where the bears were hit and how the arrow passed through the animal and what it hit. And we're going to learn a lot about how to ethically and quickly kill a black bear with an arrow. We're going to talk about broadheads. I've got the anatomy hunter, he calls himself, Brian Johnson, and he is doing some tremendous scientific work on broadheads and on wound channels and on where to shoot animals. And I'm excited to involve him. As you know, if you've watched any videos on this channel in the past, I'm all about understanding where to shoot a bear, and this talk about the middle of the middle and things about broadheads and things like that. Well, we are going to actually scientifically analyze a lot of this stuff, and this is stuff that has not been done before. So it's something that I know that you're really going to like, and you're going to learn a lot from it. So it is the middle of May here, and it is spring, and I'm loving it, and I'm excited about the bear hunt and the fishing. And we're going to just, this first video, I'm going to walk you through the process of getting everything ready, and then we're going to go up there and run some baits and put some cameras out. Hopefully by the end of this video, I may already have some trail camera pictures for you. And then the next video is going to start with the actual going up there to hunt. But as far as the fishing goes, I'm also going to put a couple of videos on my wilderness fishing channel. It's called Wilder Fish. If you want to subscribe to it or just look at some of the videos on there, it's called Wilder Fish, as in wilderness, but Wilder Fish. And so you might want to check that out too. We had a really short night last night. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to leave home until 11:30, and so I drove up to my bear camp where I had everything ready to go. The trailer was all loaded and everything like that. All I had to do was hook up the truck, and got a few hours of sleep, got up at 5 o'clock and pulled out and headed to Canada. Well, I got through the border without a hitch. That's good news. We had to do things differently this year. They keep changing the rules on bringing bear bait into Ontario, and in fact, if you watch the video from 2 years ago where it was just a total fiasco, and they have continued to change the rules, but I covered all my bases this year. And what I did was I had a receipt for 4 barrels of trail mix, and then I actually hired a broker to process the paperwork for me, and they charged me $163 to bring $500 worth of trail mix across, and the broker filed the paperwork, and then they had a barcode that I printed out, and when I got to the border I showed them the barcode, and they processed everything. They went out, they looked in the barrels and saw the trail mix, and then she said the only thing you did wrong was that you did not have the words "not for human consumption" written on the barrels. So she actually gave me a marker, and I went out and marked the barrels "not for human consumption." Then she just stamped everything, and off I went, and it just was like quick and easy. I don't think I was there for 15 minutes at the most. I'm less than 2 hours from Camp Quetico, where I'm going, and then we're going to go out, and the owner of the camp is going to take us out and show us some spots where he has had bear baits in the past, and we're going to decide, you know, if we're going to use those spots or pick our own. It might be a combination of both. I think we're going to do 5 baits for 3 people, and we'll just see how it goes. So we will talk to you once I arrive, and we'll get a look at the camp. And I hear it's really nice. Brian and Doris are already there, and we're gonna get in the woods and get some baits out yet today.
You can run the baits we assigned to you, but you can't
receive any money.
Yeah, that's right. Unless you get it.
See how, notice how it's getting cool? Wow. There's a martin box, trapper box. Oh yeah, it's right here. I like this one a lot for getting bears on it in a hurry, because you're up on a ridge and your scent will travel down to the water on both sides. So we have 6 spots that he showed us, and I was thinking if I didn't like them, I might want to go try to find some of my own, which he said is fine, but honestly, like, I would say all of these spots look good to me because they all have the things that I'm always looking for. Okay. I mean, it's obvious the person who picked these spots knows what he's doing, okay? They got water right there. A lot of them are up on a ridge where you'll get good flow and of the scent and everything like that. So, but I don't think we need all 6 of them. And Premier 1 and Premier 2 are only half a mile apart. And then Pine Cone 1 and Pine Cone 2 are only a half a mile apart.
So that gives us 4 basically
So
right now.
I think we should just do 4.
Okay.
And I think 4 is probably going to be enough, and it's 10 to 4 o'clock right now.
So we'd have to fly if we're going to just throw bait there.
And the thing is, Pine Cone is you know,
is first.
Is up there, and then you got 3 of them. I don't know if we got time to do 3 before dark. And unless we do, like you say, let's just maybe a hit and run.
Go.
What if we just took a bucket to each of them and sprayed them and put up a trail camera and then go back tomorrow?
I like that. I like that idea. We'd be in and out, it'd be fast, we're gonna get to see what happened.
I think maybe that's the way to go, and do the 4. So we'll do Pine Cone 1, which is the one with all the cedars, and it was real cool.
The pretty one, yep.
That one I really liked. That's one that might take a little bit longer to have it hit, because I think the scent's gonna kind of pool.
But he said there's a bear already there this year, he said. That's what he said.
A bear had scratched that tree right by the bait.
Yeah.
And it looked fresh to me too. So if we do Pine Cone 1 and Premier 2, and then the Rocky one,
Yeah.
and then 65K.
Is that the one with the 2 barrels that are laying there?
No, that's
That's the
Premier
one.
1, but
That's the one we'd eliminate,
I think we'd eliminate that one.
okay?
We're,
That's right off the road and it's not as pretty either.
well, and it doesn't,
Aesthetically.
it doesn't have much going for it as far as, the way I like to lay out, like where the tree is and
Okay,
stuff like
yeah.
that. Plus, it's got that hill where you gotta get a bear.
Back up.
I don't know if the 3 of us could get a bear up that hill if it was a 300 pounder. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
might have to quarter it up or something. So I think these 4,
That sounds good.
and I think what we should do is we'll just take a bucket of bait and take the oil with the Gold Rush and a trail camera, and we could just we just go do these 4 and we can get them all 4 done
We
before
just put a
dark.
5 bucket of 5-gallon bait out?
Yeah.
How much we put just,
I just
so we just take 4 or 5-gallon buckets. Now I've got my oil,
we'll do the oil.
I'll go in one vehicle then,
Well, we should be able to get it all in one vehicle.
okay?
And we can take mine or yours, I can unhook the trailer. Do you have
Okay.
room in the back seat of yours or for me or?
What do we have for the back seat, Doris? Yeah, there'd be room for him to sit there. We've gotta take stuff out and we'll make room for stuff in the back. Right now, we got all that meat there. So if nothing else, before we leave, when you're doing it, we'll get that froze and take that out tomorrow morning. Or whatever you wanna do with the meat, cause that's been out now for 24 hours.
Yeah, it
was frozen.
needs to either be used or frozen tonight.
Well, we can put 2 boxes in and we can take 2 boxes and throw some of that out there too.
It'd be nice to be able to go out there in one trip, walk to each bait and
Yeah.
back in one
Yeah.
trip.
Oh, I see, not have to go back to the truck.
Not have to come back to the truck, although,
I can do that quick, I'll run.
so,
Good.
all right, we got a plan. Well, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and we spent yesterday, holy smokes, we traveled a lot of miles yesterday. I think, you know, I got up here about 9 o'clock in the morning after only getting 3 hours of sleep. So we all jumped in the truck with Barry here, and he wanted to show us some bait locations that he has that haven't been baited for 6 to 8 years or so. And Barry took us around to these bait spots, and it took over 4 hours to go to all these, and they're a long ways from here. The first one is an hour from here on forest roads, and then the farthest one is an hour and 40 minutes from here. That's a long ways away, and the interesting thing is I brought this side by side, but all of the baits are within 100 yards of the road where you can drive a truck. You know, my thought was we maybe would use a couple of his, and then I would want to pick my own locations, but after we looked at 6 of his baits, I'm like, you know, these are good baits. They're good spots, and they've been used before. It's been years since they've been baited, but whoever chose those spots pretty much knew what they were doing. They're in good locations, and so we decided to go back and bait 4 of them yesterday afternoon. So that's what we did, put trail cameras on them. We just kind of did a hit and run bait where we carried a couple buckets of trail mix in, and we put about 50 pounds of beef scraps on them, put the trail camera on them, sprayed the Gold Rush. We didn't cut logs and everything like that. We found some logs and from before, but they are pretty rotten, and we're gonna have to go back in there and check them and cut the logs and trim the trails better and stuff like that. We ended up getting back here well after dark. I think it was getting close to 10 o'clock, and then we sat around and talked and strategized a little bit and stuff like that, and then so we ended up going to bed like 11:30 again, and then got up at 6, and so I'm lacking sleep here, but kind of reevaluating exactly how we're going to do this. My plan was to check them today and then either go home this afternoon or leave first thing in the morning, depending on when we got done this afternoon. But we pretty much, we want to be done baiting by 4 o'clock or so, and we can't hardly run them all in 4 hours because they're so far away. But that's what we're going to try to do today, and then I'll make a decision afterwards. I want to see if some of them are hit, and if some of them are hit and I got trail camera pictures and we know they're working, then I feel comfortable going home today. After we're going to put some pastries and more trail mix on them and then cut logs to cover them up a little better. Otherwise, I'll either just wait and go home in the morning, or I will run the baits again tomorrow and then go home. But I got a lot of work to do right now, and I'm coming back up on, today's Sunday, I'm coming back up on Friday. So anyway, sorry, I'm just really kind of rambling here, but I got all this trail mix and pastries and stuff like that we got to get in the woods here today. We're here at Camp Quetico, and it's beautiful country. I love this part of Ontario. I love the boreal forest. We're seeing a lot of wildlife, and we saw 2 bull moose and a cow moose yesterday, and lots of grouse and rabbits and snowshoe hares. Looking forward to doing some fishing when I come back up here too. So here we go. Well, it's Monday, and it is a cold morning, 39 degrees, and I decided to run these baits on the side-by-side. I think my ears are about to fall off. I've gone 34 kilometers so far, only 8 kilometers right now to the first bait. I unloaded my side-by-side right where the pavement ends, which will be 73 to 74 kilometers each way, so almost 150 kilometers, or just under 100 miles, 90 some miles round trip with this side-by-side. I'm pretty well bundled up here because of how cold it is. We had quite a cold front come through during the night, but I just kind of decided to stop and take a little break here by this lake. Right, beautiful spot right back off the road here. So we had one bear on the bait yesterday, so this bear was on the bait 18 hours, I guess, after we put the bait out. That was the only one of the 4 that was hit, but I'm hoping we have a couple more hit this morning, and then I got to head home today. So I'm deciding whether or not to keep this side-by-side up here. I was planning to take it home, and then I thought, you know what, I'll just run these on the side-by-side one time, because these roads you could just go faster on a ATV than you can driving a truck. You know, maybe I'll decide to leave it up here. I'll have to have somebody pull it home for me at the end of the hunt because I'm going to bring a boat up with my other pickup. So let's get to that first bait, and hopefully I'll be showing you some more trail camera pictures of bears. Well, it's starting to warm up anyway. It's 11:30. I'm back to the truck and got everything loaded up here. We did not have any hits on the baits today, unfortunately, and that sow that we bumped off the bait yesterday did not come back. I think she will be back. I also think these other baits will get hit. I'm kind of surprised that we haven't had more hits. I thought we'd probably have at least one or two in the first couple days. One bait is down in a low spot where it could take the bears a while to find it because of poor scent dispersal, but it's a great spot once they do find it. Anyway, the sun came out and the wind changed direction, so all of that forest fire smoke that we had yesterday that was fogging everything up is gone, and I think that will also help the bears find the baits a little bit better because of that smoke smell that we were dealing with yesterday. So I'm going to take the side-by-side home. I don't think we really need it, and I'm going to bring up my Toyota pickup with a little boat for the next weekend, and hopefully when we come back these baits are all going to be hit and cleaned up, hopefully, and we'll put some more bait on them and go shoot some bears. But anyway, thanks for joining me on this video. We got a couple more to come. And even though it's a little discouraging right now, I feel like we're going to have a positive outcome. So we'll see you on the next video.